Hey, how's it going? It's Grant with the Garden of Eater.
And Shelby.
And today we're going to talk to you about our trip to Aquashella, catch you up with everything we had to do with the shrimp contest, the Aquascape Contest, and a couple other things along the way. So I want to jump into chat and start with that so we don't get too far behind tonight and try to keep up with everything.
Welcome in Jamie and Crypt Keeper.
How's it going, guys?
This is on, right?
Yeah, I believe it's on.
Just making sure. And hello, Frank. Welcome in. Jamie said, trying to figure out the best shrimp to get. My dealer has wine red pandas and black King Kong pandas, and I only have one empty cycle tank.
So this is kind of an easy solution for me. Get both of them. You can keep red King Kongs and black King Kongs. Red wine is just a red King Kong in the same tank together, and you can crossbreed them, and you're only going to get Taiwan bees. So it is a great option. Chances are, if you just keep one or the other, you're going to get, both anyways. So unless they're a very pure line. So starting off with the shrimp contest, I figure we dive in with that since a lot of people are going to jump in here and assume that this is what it's mainly going to be about. However, as organizers for the shrimp contest, we kind of just set it up, got all the shrimp in the right tanks, tallied everything up, and the volunteers and the judges and everybody else did the rest of the work for us. It's not that we didn't want to, it's just that we were quite preoccupied with other things that were going on. Yep.
And welcome in Rob of Shrimp Envy. Said and agreed with you to get both. And that was before you even said it.
Yeah. I did read the question beforehand. I didn't know Rob beat me to the answer already.
And hello, Richard. Welcome in.
Hope you guys are feeling better. And if you are, hope to see you next week. How's it going, Chris?
Next week for what?
He's going to bring some CPDs, some Super Reds, and then some Shellys.
Welcome in, Chris.
And we should have, and that brings us up to our topic, we should have some fish on the website by the end of next week. We've got some double Japanese blue sword endlers that we can throw up on the website. We got them breeding in 2 different ponds now, one outside by the door and another one with the turtles in the greenhouse. So those will be going up, as well as all of Shelby's Achilles fish. No, I'm just kidding.
I do have Achilles fish. They're almost ready.
No. I want you to keep all of those. What?
Get rid of those ones.
No.
Welcome in, Bunny Viper. And Chris asked, or Jamie asked, sorry, read Chris's name then, which would be dominant between the red and black?
The red is recessive, black is dominant. So when you breed them out, you're going to get a lot more blacks, but if you want to separate and breed one true, it'll be a lot easier to get the reds to breed true.
And welcome in, Stephen P.
How's it going, man?
You're going to say something that took you
I didn't know
forever.
if you were going to say hi to Jeff Kane and keep going down the list or what. I don't like to talk over you too much.
Yeah.
It is kind
it's
of
your
like my second
favorite
hobby.
thing. Hello, Jeff Kane. Welcome in. And Vibes Aquatics. Nice to see you all.
What's up, Tim?
Hello, Tim.
How's it going, man?
He is cleaning. Hello, Houston.
What's up, man? All right, bring up
I know
Crypt
those are
Keeper.
things. I'm trying. Did you know that Shrimp Envy comes in a sampler pack? Grab yours today.
I appreciate it, man. So back to the shrimp contest. Everything went as planned up till like Friday. I was trying to figure out, where these last remaining tanks of shrimp are. One person entered 5 or 6 groups of shrimp and only brought in 4 or 5, whatever it was. They sold one of the groups of shrimp that they were going to enter into the contest. Never told us, so we ended up setting up a tank Another person sent 2 bags of shrimp in. I'm gonna go before the next contest and go over some shipping, what can help you out, help relieve some stress off the shrimp, and for them to color up. One of the methods would be using the most amount of water, and the shrimp that were sent in was small amount of water in poly bags with a tiny amount of air in the bag. Also, there's missing insulation in the box, so they're just kind of like bouncing around and nothing really to keep all of the coldness in. Like if you're going to use the insulation, you got to pack it all in, or else all that heat is just going to seep in and the cold is going to escape. So the other one was, I guess their flight was delayed and they tried to enter the shrimp in after they were already judged. So nothing we can really do with that. So you want to dive back in? Everything good?
Yeah. So I don't see Dr. Anthony's comment, which is really strange, but everyone's saying hello. So welcome in, Dr. Anthony, if you're here. For
How's
some
it
reason, your
going?
comment is not visible on our end.
Huh.
Yeah. Said Vibes didn't get a notification.
Well, how's it
YouTube.
going, Vibes? I will be talking about you a little bit later on. It was fun hanging out, as well as Stephen P. They were both with us, and Chris at Aquashella. I'm sorry, I don't have a cool, fun story about Chris, though.
There it is. It's weird because people were saying hi before he came in.
He must
That's
have said
strange.
something about.
Thank you so much, Richard.
We appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who helped us out. We'll get back to that later on. What's up, Guppy Beast?
Hello, Spaghetti Nona. And Gary from GK Aquatics.
What's up, man? Sad I'm not going to be able to make it to the meeting on Saturday, and you will be, and you're going to be bringing breeder award point bags, so it's going to be something good I'm going to be missing out on.
He asked, how does Saturday work for you?
I will be home. I don't know.
We won't be home Sunday, but we'll be home Saturday, so.
What are we doing Sunday?
Daytona.
Oh, yes, the Daytona reptile breeder. Are we
I
going to
gotta
leave
drag
Saturday,
you.
though? Instead of hotel? Are we driving? To be determined.
So
We'll talk about
come
that
early
after live.
on Saturday, just in case we decide to head over there so we
I'll
can
figure
get
that
there
one out
first thing in the
tomorrow.
morning. Yeah. It would be nice.
I appreciate it, Vibe.
Hello, Yellowstone Aquatics.
Saying don't forget to smash that like button.
And hello, Mississippi Hippie Fishies.
How's it going, Mississippi Hippie?
It was lovely meeting you.
So back to the contest. So Friday, we were missing some shrimp in the tank. So if you're wondering why in the videos that will be coming out, we will not be posting a video. I just didn't take any footage. I don't know if Shelby did, but
You get a 3-second TikTok.
it
That's
kind
what
of
you
got
get.
put on us to do different tasks that we had to get taken care of. Schedules got moved around, and we were not able to do the things that we wanted to do. So Poseidon's pets, Kyle, he will be taking on a video and posting that on his channel. Papa Shrimp and Flip Aquatics, both of them also took footage. I'm sure somebody else will also post videos that I didn't realize was taking footage or anything like that. So
Aquashella themselves will have a cute little video as well. Won't be in depth of everything, but
yeah, there was a photographer going around and videoing all the shrimp going into the tanks and stuff like that. So Saturday was kind of where everything went kind of sour. The AC for the show kind of froze up, and only half of the building was getting AC. So it was like 20 degrees hotter towards the YouTube side than it was towards like the main entrance to the walk-in and everything like that. So it was kind of rough on the shrimp, especially the Carradina. It's not something we're proud of, but there was probably more dead shrimp at this contest than there was at any other past contest. And that's just because it was 106 degrees in Texas the AC froze up, and then these shrimp are already put through quite a bit of, stress through shipping and whatnot also. So it's kind of unfortunate. There's also another DQ. Somebody entered in 3 groups into different, well, first of all, they went into the wrong categories, so they didn't know that they all were going to go into one category. So fancy tigers, just a hint for everybody out there, those are a hybrid. They're really just a Thai so they do not belong in the tiger category. So they had 2 groups of those and some Nanashi, told them to pick their best 2 instead of disqualifying them. In the future, though, that might be something we have to do. If you're breeding and, entering shrimp in a contest, you enter them in the wrong category, they should probably be disqualified. I think that's how the Killies work at Rainbows. Like, if anybody did that at the Triple Crown, I'm sure they would have gotten 0 points for that, group of fish entered. So probably something we're going to think about doing for the future shows. Probably not until next year, though. Keep everything, simple and the same for the Chicago show. It is the Breeder of the Year show for us, so all the points scored up for all 3 years. We'll be doing a ceremony afterwards, and hopefully we will have some nice awards to hand out for that. Still nothing in stone. We were hoping that we could get some prizes to hand out for the Dallas show, and we were unable to get anything worked out in time, but hopefully there's plenty of time for Chicago, and we have more than 50 tanks. We stopped right at 47. I did know that a couple of people were going to enter, and I figured one of them would make it through. One of them forgot to enter in time. The other ones were worried about shipping, and I really didn't want to press them because if something were to happen, that would deter them away from entering in the future contest. So I'll catch back up on.
Yeah. Z-World said, "What up, guys? Met you in Dallas. Ryan, friends with Kyle. Yeah, it's nice hanging out with you."
Yeah, man, I appreciate all the help you guys did with the shrimp contest. Him and Ryan helped out with the volunteers and made sure that all of our pens were not walking away and that people were voting for the People's Choice Award, because that is voted on in-house by Aquashella, set up. And everybody that goes, we try to encourage them to vote on their best shrimp. And usually we give away, a nice complete tank setup or at least a tank. And this time we were able to give away a Scapers tank from Denali Shrimp King. So that was really cool. And it went to a good home.
And welcome in Nick Teeter. Said, "Y'all rocking it. Keep up the grind." I'd have to say, before you speak, Nick, you had some of the most lovely shrimp in the contest. I wish I could have took them home and not had to ship them back to you. They were beautiful.
We did take them home, and then we had to ship them back.
Yeah. Very healthy shrimp. You could definitely tell when some of the other shrimp were struggling to get through. You can tell when someone has homebred healthy shrimp. So.
And then he took home first place in category 5, which got him best of show for the Dallas Awards. So those will be going out tomorrow. We didn't get to it today. I'll kind of get into why we're so far behind and update everybody on that. But I wanted to talk about the shrimp contest first, and not just Nick. There was some beautiful shrimp entered in the contest. Every single show seems like we get some really nice shrimp. The bar is set a little bit higher with each one, especially now with us getting so many entries in. It's not as easy as entering, 2 groups into each category and pulling away with a win. You actually got to place and score some nice points with the judges in order to win these categories. So it's not just preference of color or anything like that. It actually boils down to, how much of the shrimp is covered with pigment, how much of it looks the same, and then size. The shrimp are just simply not big enough that are being entered in the contest. So if you're out there and you're thinking about entering the shrimp contest and you've got some monsters, Nick's shrimp, he had some monsters, so that's why he took home the prizes. But there was some, smaller shrimp that walked away with some awards that I feel like was missed opportunities for some of these American breeders.
Vibe said fresh peaches just came out the oven. I had a mental breakdown during Aquashella, just so you know.
We'll talk about that later. We'll bring up the pizza
fresh
later.
pizza.
We'll talk about the pizza later.
We won't.
We will. I will get to it. The
Okay.
whole stream is about Aquashella. Shrimp contest first. That's what the people kind of wanted to hear.
Stephen P. I need to enter into the shrimp contest next year for sure.
And you've got plenty of time to start breeding shrimp and get in the contest. A lot of people are like, oh, I haven't put enough work into these shrimp. They're not mine. Here's how it is. The people that win these contests, some of them do a lot of work. And then there's others that just buy the shrimp and then, breed them one generation, enter them in the contest. Other people just buy shrimp and enter those. And you can really tell when it comes down to the health of the quality of the shrimp, and especially when, the heat got turned on, some of those shrimp, don't fare too well. So you got to, breed your own shrimp to give them the best chance in the contest.
Bunny said, I want to know when the big snail contest is going to happen. That would be so cool.
I think we could easily convince Sean to do a snail contest, but it's like
a little bit more time.
I don't think there's really
snails.
I don't
and
think
health of it. Oh man, that'd be so cool.
I think it's missing the wow factor that everybody knows about freshwater snails.
But if there was a giant
think a lot
purple
of people
one, I would
despise snails. Where there's like, oh, cute little shrimp.
Yeah,
Those people are like, I hate snails.
Oh
Why?
my gosh.
I'm like, I'm sorry. They're just the only thing I can really keep with my shrimp.
Steven said, really wish I could have hung out with y'all after hours. Grant and Shelby definitely was not myself that weekend. Very dehydrated, tired, and just never fully recovered from Triple Crown.
I can say the same for both of us. We are still not recovered. There's a reason why we haven't produced any content. There's a reason why we haven't. Like yesterday was like our first day off, and I think we slept most of the day. We woke up today. We slept in most of the day today, and I still feel like I didn't get enough sleep. And because we stopped, and my body is like, why'd you stop? I was relying on constant momentum to keep everything going, and now it just feels like a train wreck has happened and everything hurts.
Yeah.
So
hitting us like a brick wall. So I can only imagine. It was really hot at Aquashella too, so I can only imagine in the corner.
It was hot at Triple Crown though. Also, like that's.
Yeah,
we never caught
turned
a break.
The heat on.
there was no like cooler weather or anything. It was a week of hot weather in Florida getting ready for the Triple Crown, a week of hot weather in the Triple Crown coming back home and getting ready for Dallas, and then a week of hot weather in Dallas, and then we've come back and it's been another week of hot weather here because we've set up 2 140-gallon ponds outside and stocked them fully to the brim with Eros, Crips, Anubis, Swords, and a bunch of different floaters and stuff like that. There's no more room in those ponds. What's up, Brandon?
Hopefully next show we'll be able to be a little bit more rested too.
No, because we got the Triple Crown, AGA, Aquashella, come home, and then we had the annual auction for Tampa, and I'm not going to miss that because I'll have so many empty tanks for us by then. It's going to be a lot of fun.
He's trying to kill me.
No,
honestly. No. If I die, it's his fault.
It's because you're weak.
Dragging me.
You fell behind.
Hello, MTS. Welcome in. Vibe said mosquitoes fish in with shrimp.
No, those mosquito fish are vicious. I don't think I know of a more nasty little fish. Like pound for pound, the mosquito fish is the most vicious little son of a gun that you'll ever see. Those I spent so much time and effort trying to get them out of my pond, and it just I had to drain it like 2 or 3 times. Pool, pond, hot tub, all 3 of them to get them all out of there. So not fun little suckers.
Welcome in, Nano Aquarium guy.
And I know some of you heard the story and they're like, no, don't tell the story again. So if you want to hear a good mosquito fish story, you got to watch the other streams.
No one does. No one cares about your gambusias. I can't believe won first place at Triple crown.
Yep.
Mosquito
I bet you
fish.
they didn't breed it themselves. I bet you it was wild caught. I'll put
It
my
was
bottom
cute,
dollar on it.
but I cannot believe it won first place. Welcome in, Johnny B.
MTS messaged me about some plants and trades, and I never got back to him. I feel so bad.
You're terrible.
Was he on?
There's a lot of people.
Did he
Yes.
yeah.
I said
feel
hello.
I feel really bad.
And
get
welcome
back to
in,
you.
Lefty. How you doing?
What's up, man?
One of these days we'll catch up. Hello, Robert from Ray Aquatics. It was great hanging out with you at the Triple Crown.
And it's not so much. And I got this email, and I'll message you about the other one. But with this email, it's not so much about finding them. It's about the sponsors presenting them to us. They just there was a lot of things that were issued on back order and stuff like that because of the import-export issues that we are having across the world. So it's not really their fault. We'll have it by the time it's Triple Crown.
And thank you so much, These Worlds. At any time, guys. Can't wait to do it again. And congrats on your win. You deserve it. And welcome in. This is Kyle, right?
Yeah.
Welcome in, Kyle. Poseidon's Pets says driving home from work. Well,
And
thanks for joining.
He should have a video on the shrimp contest because I did not have time. Shelby did not have time. Kyle had some time on his hands. He was there, and I don't know, maybe while I was handing out some volunteers, pens to volunteer, man, handing out pens to the people at Aquashella to vote. Maybe he was taking some footage in the slow moments.
Mikey's Fishing said, I didn't enter on size. Welcome in, first of all. Second of all, did we get that far behind? I don't know what he's talking about.
He didn't enter the shrimp contest because he didn't have large enough shrimp.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe
Next
Chicago.
Time, throw a bin outside and get them suckers biggin'.
Kyle said, or enter your coals like me. They were beautiful. They're still nice.
What did Lefty say? Bring it up.
I'm trying. So while I was away for Triple Crown and failed Dallas trip, my dad killed all my guppy grass. No, he decided to clean my floor and unplugged my light.
Well,
oh, no.
I could send you some more guppy grass. I have a little bit left.
A little bit? You still have a lot. Hello, Brickley Bell. Welcome in. It was nice meeting you at Aquashella. Is a contest for Carradina or Neo Carradina shrimp?
So category 1 is for Neos, and then the rest of the 5 categories are all Carradina. So it is both. However, there's no wild type shrimp allowed in the contest, so it's all the nice colorful crosses. And there's a tiger category, a Taiwan B, a crystal, a hybrid category, and then an iMorph hybrid category as well. I think the next video we need to do before the contest is diving into all the categories and going into specific characteristics and reasons why some shrimp are not in some categories.
Multiple Tang Syndrome said, I got some also blue ram's horns. I beat them with my pink ram's horns.
some super reds.
Gary said a snail contest might be a little slow. Vibes is still recovering as well. We all need some sleep, that's for sure. You go like 100 miles an hour at these shows. Takes forever to recruit. So Brandon said, hey Grant, I've been rewatching genetics and cross videos. If I use hybrid cheetahs with steel, will it still create the variety of phenotypes? Hopefully I'll enter the contest one day.
Yeah, you will. And if you use blue steels, that'll be a little bit better. And I've got to get your shrimp out tomorrow as well with James. Shrimp fish room fever, not shrimp room fever.
You want me to write that down for you?
If you want. I'm going to remember it, though.
You didn't remember it today.
We didn't have time today. I had to make sure I took Shelby out for food, and then we went somewhere nice, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, we changed our close day from Wednesday back to Mondays again." And
This place is giving us a run for our money, literally. Because it's just making us so sad.
But I will take care of it, man. So we had to go somewhere else. It took longer than expected, and it was on the last of the list. It was before James, though. Just so you know.
Hello, Leo. Welcome in.
And then, anyway, so when we got home from the Triple Crown, for those that do not know, we found Jaden's room had an inch of water in his room, and not just water, hot water. Well, not hot, but lukewarm, warmer than it should have been for a room set to 70 degrees. So I kind of just shut off the water, and then Shelby and us, we packed to go to Dallas and got home, and we were hoping that we could figure out like a shut-off way to cut off that pipe so we didn't have to worry about it, but we weren't able to do that. But we were able to shut off the water going to the hot water pipe and just killed the breaker to the hot water, so we don't have a leak going anymore. We're able to do the water changes and stay on top of everything. So it's kind of a little slowing us down not being able to use hot water to like wash our hands. And then I do turn on the hot water for us to take showers. So there is a little bit of leak and we got to do that, but it's not as bad as it could have been. So I'm just trying to get through the house right now and do water changes as fast as I can. So that is a little bit exhausting on top of making sure all the orders go out. And it's also the first week kids go back to school. So it's been a little chaotic for Shelby as well.
We'll get there. So Lefty said, yeah, but the Kentucky weather wasn't as humid as Dallas felt to me. Kentucky was okay to me, but when I went to Dallas, I was dying. That was the most dry. We live in a very high humidity in Florida, so when we go up to any northern state that has like below 50% humidity, I am literally dying. I felt like fish out of water.
Did you go to Rusty's house? Did you go to this fish room? Because that was humidity. Yeah, that was.
Showered outside.
Yeah, every single 250 people after walking through that fish room were like wishing that it was Dallas humidity.
Johnny B. Snail races, I'm in. We would have to set them down and then walk away and come back.
What's up, Matt?
Welcome in, Matt from Liquid Zoo. I swear he doesn't know how to rest. They heard me complaining.
I know how to sleep. I just don't know how to like.
No, he doesn't
rest.
That's what I'm saying. He does not know how to rest. I mean, literally, I'll come home from an 8 to 9 hour shift and I'll like lay in bed for a second and look at my phone. And he's like, "What are you doing? We got things to do." They heard me complain. Always. There's a never-ending list with Grant. You're like, check 10 things off, 20 things just appear. Hello, Rob's Aquarium Room. Hello, Rico Stan. Welcome in.
How's it going, guys?
He said, luckily, there's been plenty of time between events, so all you slackers will be fully recovered. I don't want no half-ass version of Grant.
Listen, Rico, you get the best version of me because you are the very first stop on our well, we got Daytona next weekend, but after that, it's just the triple clash is the only thing on my mind. We got to sign triple clash. The Keystone Clash is the next thing on my priorities list. So you will get the best version of both of us. We will not be exhausted. However, AGA, you will probably get the most slacked version of us. I'm not gonna do like anything other than like try and sell some leftover plants from the Clash.
Mm-hmm. Brickley said, all of the shrimp that I got from y'all in Dallas are doing great. Wonderful to hear.
I actually had all the shrimp left over from the Triple Crown still, and I put those in the tubs we set up today. So we got a little shrimp running around all of them.
Kyle said, if you look at mosquito fish eyes, they're predators like trout.
It's probably the reason why all the shrimp in the United States are see-through glass, colorless shrimp.
So Leo said, the Garden of Eden, what's the best red Carradina for a black Brightwell substrate?
I mean, crystal reds or red wines are going to be your probably two best bets. You can do super crystal reds. It wasn't just regular crystal reds. My bad. But what would you prefer?
Red Galaxy Pintos.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably like the most stunning ones that we
Yeah.
have in the house. We just had Josh Cunningham over the house, and for sure he went to both tanks of Shelby's that are matured and set up and took B-roll footage of those. So
I mean, they're just
probably
they just stop you in your tracks. Besides the safaris look really cool, but mine are better.
It's also like just, you know, opinion. What do you like the best? Because they're all just as easy to take care of. The crystal shrimp, you might be able to get away with a little bit more fluctuation in parameters, but the galaxies, this fancy tigers and stuff like that, you got to have your parameters on point, but you got the Brightwell substrate. So as long as you're using RO water and GH only minerals, then them suckers should be fine.
Mikey said, I got a single black least Achilles fish.
Oh man, I'm not sure where you live, but wait, is that Mike? There's too many mics.
It's Mikey's fish tanks. I don't know. That was you. You're supposed to remember
the Mike that
things.
lives in Pasco, we can easily catch some females in the ditches. I got some golden least Achilles fish. And some.
Correction, I have them.
No, I got those.
Yeah, until
you
you start
brownies.
feeding them, they're not yours.
Put them in a shrimp tank so they could eat the shrimp. That's food.
He said, don't sweat it, Grant. I know you've been recovering from Aquashella.
I've been recovering from Shelby overworking me. Making me move all this stuff around the house.
Who's the one who cleaned up from Aquashella? Get out of here. You know how many bins we got?
I had to
how many
move the
tanks?
bikes out of the kitchen. Like, who makes someone do that?
You're testing my patience tonight.
I mean, it's funny.
I'm the one who moved the bikes from the kitchen.
No, you
I'm
did
the one
not.
who reorganized the whole garage for that.
No.
I'm gonna sign off now at this point. Hello, Jake. Welcome in. Rob said, do you know who's leading for Breeder of the Year? Absolutely not.
No, but we will figure that out.
Not even close.
I don't know if we should even announce that. It might deter some other people away from entering. You could watch 2 videos, though, and add up the points if you really wanted to know that badly.
No, we didn't do a second video.
No,
with all
somebody
the
else does the video.
I don't have points on it, though.
Oh.
So they can't figure it out. The first one you can figure out who started in the lead, but
I guess.
And Kyle said he's editing the video and it's almost done. Can't wait to see it.
Nice.
Stephen P said, we worked our butts off for our fluval scape, but Grant and Shelby's scape was just awe-inspiring. I loved your scape too. I thought you guys did incredible. For you guys sitting there like acting so shy, like yours was definitely my second favorite. It seemed like there was more work in it. Like obviously there were some that were, you know, the standard aquascaping rules and they didn't break any rules and it looked good, but it was just, those get a little bit boring to me.
I was worried about yours and Austin's, and yours and Austin's are the other 2 that are going on to qualify. So the other thing is like we've already entered in 2 other contests before that. We did one in Orlando, and then we did one in Jersey. So we kind of like knew exactly where to spend our time, and we wasted like when I made a post saying that we wasted 0 time on the aquascape. We knew we had 0 time to slack off. Like at other shows and stuff like that, you'll be like, "Where's Grant?" And I'll be off doing something stupid. But with this contest, for the whole 12 hours that we had to escape, except for the 1 hour where I went over and did the UNS contest, we were dedicated to that escape. And I was so proud of Shelby. I left that contest for an hour, and Shelby's like, what am I going to do without you? Should I stop, take a break? And I'm like, Shelby, you got this. Lay the plants, plan it up. And when I got back, there wasn't a single thing out of order. I think with the entire scape, and I don't even know who put who put those crypts there, but there was like 2 crypts that came up and floated when we finally floated the entire tank. And I mean, that was where I had to go and like keep a distraction. I couldn't take it. What I was really confident that the wood was going to stay sunk, and then I just kept having people come up to us like, fingers crossed, like, hope it stays. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, oh, just looks like it's gonna. You're not worried about it. I hope you glued it down. Like, you weren't not worried about it floating. And I'm like, I wasn't until I had like 5 people who I look up to come over and be like, oh man, I hope it it stays. I'm like, Jesus, I gotta walk away. And Shelby just, man, all the patient stuff Shelby took over and took control, and it all worked out.
Welcome in, Laura Walters. And yes, Chris, it was a busy week and a half. Welcome in, James. Cannot pronounce that last name.
And then if you were looking for us at the booth at Aquashella and you didn't see us, I probably only spent like 30 minutes at the table. Shelby spent like maybe 2 hours. We couldn't have done the booth at all and the Aquascape Contest, so we weren't going to do. We had already qualified. Qualified in Orlando, so we weren't going to do Dallas. But if you watch our episode 9 of Halfscaped live stream, I talk about how I wanted to enter into Dallas just so I can get that competitive edge with their providing the hardscape, providing the plants. I wanted to know how it was. We kind of kept it friendly. There wasn't any elbows throwing or anything like that. Chicago might be a little different. But no.
Don't even talk to me in Chicago.
We definitely need more wood for Chicago for things to be more interesting. But I think they're aware of it, and they're going to make things happen. So it was just great to be a part of it. Got to escape alongside some really, great friends. Also, Corey Hopkins was in the contest, and it was 3 tanks that I was worried about. It was the 2 that placed I mentioned with Stephen P. and Berkeley's team, and then Jess was also on the team. So, and then Austin, and then the other one was Corey Hopkins. Back when I first got into like aquascaping and stuff like that, before I go to post like a video, back when we were doing videos for Brightwell, I was always like, oh man, like what can I tweak to make this look real nice? And Corey was like always so kind and helpful, and really helped me put like the cherry on top for some of our escapes. So it's like escaping against him, felt the pressure. It was a lot of fun. And then like the tank right next to us, their name was Shrimpnician. So like, how do you not? You have to compete and beat the Shrimpnicians. So it was a lot of fun. But it was supposed to start at 2:00 on Friday. It didn't start until 4:30. I ended up helping them with all the hardscape materials, getting them out on the table, because I was hoping if I helped them get it done in time, we'd be able to go to the there was like a fish store that was hosting an event for the vendors with food and drinks and stuff like that.
The fish gallery itself.
Yeah, where all the plushies and everything are. So
I'm still upset about it.
Maybe next time we'll be able to go to that one, but I will for sure. I have a feeling that they're going to do something at Aqualand again in Chicago, and I will be making sure we go back to that because I had a lot of fun.
I know where I'm going the whole time.
And I know I can get into the turtle cage, so that's probably where I'm going to go.
You'll find me in the nice full body massaging chair, and I won't be leaving it. That'll be fine. That thing was amazing. Oh, don't even talk to me. Oh, this is local Mikey. I got a handful of orange Neos in the pond in a laundry basket per suggestion.
Yeah, I'm horrible with names.
Well, I think he changed his name.
All right.
That might not be your fault this time. Next time, no excuses. What up, Scuba Steve? Grant was loving it at Triple Crown hanging out with you.
I needed you Saturday. No, Sunday, right? Man. New Local Austin came through and brought us food on Saturday, but no food on Sunday. We needed Scuba Steve come in clutch on Sunday. Why did we need? I don't know.
You're all out of sorts.
Yeah.
He slept too much. Oh, is there anything for crayfish? No, but that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, I think
there's just not many crayfish, honestly.
I think Chris Lukop is gonna eventually do something with crayfish, I'm sure, but
that'd be cool.
And the market for crays is just not there yet.
It'd have to be like a dwarf category, and then you know, there's some really cool crayfish out there. We've had some of those tri-colored ones.
We've bred the ghosts, we've bred the alien eye, we've bred the dwarf blues, and the self-cloners, and some local ones, but there's never really any interest for them.
Welcome in, Lonnie. It's nice to see you. Jake said, blue diamonds I got from you have been doing well, about 3 times the original count.
Very nice.
Wonderful.
That's what I like to hear. So, anyways, back to the UNS contest. While Shelby was aquascaping for the fluval contest, I stepped aside and did the first group of scapers at the creators contest on the stage for the YouTube booth. I was alongside with Taylor from Simply Beta and Stephen P. So it was real fun. We did get to hang out for that hour, but it was really hot, and it was during the day where the AC froze up, and I couldn't even put the headphones on to hear what Rob had to say. I was like, dude, I'm not about that. I'm going to have to go back to this aquascaping contest with Shelby, and I'll have to go like back to the hotel room and cool off if I put the headphones off and give you my all for the next hour. Not only that, but like I was all over the place. That the headphones would have got ripped out and I would have broken something. So it was a lot of fun, though. I had to run over and steal the hammers from Shelby, and then I didn't let Stephen P. or Taylor use my bucket because I've broken up all of my little shards and had everything. And then I think Taylor had like different rocks than I had, and then her little pebbles would mix with mine, and it would ruin my scape. So I was like, no, I can't share my bucket. I went and got my bucket. You guys were sitting there grabbing all the good plants. And then, so, yeah, that's about all. The skate contest was a lot of fun. I just wish our group got as much plants as the last group. It would have made things a little bit more interesting.
Lefty said Grant's little portion of guppy grass will probably fill an entire pond. Yes, that's exactly his little portions. So, James, if you didn't send mine out, can I order more? We actually did send that out today, though, unfortunately. You can always order more, though. Hello, Dane. Welcome in. And
what's up, man?
Sandy.
I put your spawning mops to good use today. Shelby's like, oh, they're all mine. She didn't know I ordered extra ones for myself because I got myself.
He puts one in, and he's like, "Oh, rainbows. So proud of it." You know,
she's gonna
got like
she's
7.
Like, if those breed, I'm gonna be so mad. You're gonna take all the credit for them, and she's been feeding them. And I'm like, I did the water change. I put the spawn mop in.
You haven't done a water change since you got them.
I'm making things happen.
Oh my gosh. Brickley said, my husband is a licensed plumber. He may be able to give y'all some advice. Awesome. Thank you. Brickley said, we were fish out of water. She was struggling too. Welcome in, Dee Dee.
It was also very unclear with the rules. So I'm hoping next time they will be set in stone, written in very clear writing.
Laura loves their mystery snails. Yes. Especially, you can get them to be so big, too.
I wish ours would do better outside. I think they got too hot in the smaller bins, so I moved them into the bigger buckets. They seem to be a little bit more lively.
Kyle
moving
said,
around.
going to eat. See you guys when I'll jump back in. Enjoy dinner.
And then back to the show, anyways. Eddie basically ran the whole booth for us the entire weekend. We have been doing this thing where we buy plants from a nursery and then quarantine them for 2 to 3 weeks and then bring them with us to the shows. It really worked out for us. I plan on like buying plants every week until like we really max out things here. I do have like limited room already, but with this new rack, and as soon as we have the tanks set up, I don't have to wait for them to be cycled for us to just start throwing different plants in each one of the tanks. So by the time it is the Keystone Clash, we should have an abundance of all sorts of different plants, and then we'll be ready for AGA the week after.
Leo said tanks will be running a month next week, so can place the order. It's good to hear. Mikey said that black one came from the group of gold ones I got. And when we were there with Prime Time. Matt said, we know that Shelby is not the slave driver. And
There's two
MTS
sides to every story.
Says Grant needs a water level alarm. Welcome in Spaz Network. Said, hey guys, just was able to start watching. I think I have a shrimp itch. After my first order, I am now in the process of setting up a 20-gallon shrimp-only tank now. That is wonderful.
That's what we like to hear. If you guys aren't setting up more tanks because of us, then we are not doing our job the right way. So you're on the mission to have 500 tanks by the end of the year. It doesn't have to be your goal, but let's aim for 5 more by the end of the year. Everybody that's watching, there's 50 people watching right now, so that could be possibly 250 tanks added up.
5 said, Grant, I put mosquito fish in your tank to get it cycled, and now I need to know what you want to stock the tank with.
Oh, that's what I was talking about, the UNS contest. So I escaped the contest, and then UNS Aquashella, they raffle off the tanks for charity. The reef one, I can't remember what it's for. Somebody please drop it down if you know what it is. But Vibes, he won the tank. So he's got a mosquito fish in it. Man, it's got dragonstone, and we used the UNS substrate. So if the dragonstone's inert, you could put some really nice Carradina shrimp in it as long as you used RO water and GH only minerals. So if you let me know what kind of water you use, we can pick out some nice shrimp.
So Laura asked, did anyone show video of shrimp entered the contest? There will be Poseidon's Pets. I think someone already shared the link in here, but should be posting the video maybe tomorrow.
It's literally the next one.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Kyle was great. He helped out with the contest. He hung out with us because we crushed them late night hours. After dinner, we went down to the show. We tallied up. We had Ed and Ariana at the show helping us out. And at one time, they thought some stuff went missing. And there was a little issue with one of the tanks cracking behind us in the booth behind us. So we just wanted to make sure we got all our ducks in a row. And then went over to the shrimp contest, made sure everything was fine, and got the judges' scores all tallied up back at the hotel room. But while we were just going through and making sure all the filters and running and everything like that, Kyle and Ryan came down and hung out with us. So it's nice to have someone to talk to while you're trying to crank through some stuff. And then also we had Jay Oliver Guppies. He had no horse in the race, so we had him count up all of the People's Choice Award votes and put those tallies to the side so that way we can announce the winner, which was Clemente Lewis, the People's Choice for his Fancy Red Tigers, Tank 34.
Thank you for all your help, Jay Oliver, and welcome in. Hope you're doing well as well. And thank you so much.
Yeah, and everybody who, responded to our post and voted for our tank to help us win. We didn't win the People's Choice. I think we lost by like 3% before they turned everything off, but we did get the judges' votes. And with the judges being who they are, I was really honored to win.
Stephen P.
Well,
said,
we
yes.
were honored. I don't know how Shelby felt. Can't speak for her.
Yeah, you usually do speak for me, but speaking for yourself only. Stephen P. said, yes, more wood, more rocks, plants. We got that covered.
And Sean did say he would like less sparkly rocks next time. So
I enjoyed them.
I got to give it also to, I think it was Austin, for setting up his tank and filling it up with water so fast, because the rocks that we used, I was like, they look a lot nicer underwater. They're not so glittery and sparkly. So they really darkened up and looked kind of more like some black natural rock. So we went with that instead of the jade rock that we were going to go with.
Welcome in, Luke Wing. Said, what's good, y'all? Looks like I caught a live one finally. Are you guys going to be at AGA?
Yeah, what's up, man? It was fun hanging out with you at the Triple Crown, watching the fights. I totally missed. Okay. I totally missed the knockout from Cheeto Vera knocking out Dominic Cruz. I don't know what I was doing Saturday, but I missed another good one. But yes, we will be at AGA. We don't have a table booked or the hotel booked yet, but we will figure that out.
We'll have to reply to that later. Welcome in, new local Austin. Yo, love the garden.
Hey, and new local Austin brought us homemade biscuits and gravy, and then I got a buffalo chicken sandwich. Shelby got a BLT, and it was fuel for us to get the Aquascape done on Saturday. Like, I would have had no time to go to the back room and get food. One of the great things that Aquashella does, and kind of the reason why we had a little bit more food, is they take care of their staff and stuff like that. So when we weren't able to take care or benefit of those, new local Austin stepped to the plate and helped us out. Thank you, man.
So Lefty said, I know you talked about a powder to raise KH, I think a few streams back. Are there any ways to lower KH without doing RO?
The only way to lower your KH is by adding water that has less KH. So there's nothing that just absorbs KH out of your water, sadly. So RO is kind of your best option.
Yeah, Luke offered saying dumping an acid will neutralize KH, but you'd have to be careful.
Yeah, it's still going to come back.
Jamie said no crawfish market because they're good at eating. And Steven said bucket. Someone commented on his post the other day and said bucket, and like it's something else. And I'm like, why did this woman comment bucket on your post? Because I didn't know what was going on. That's the only thing I
could think of. Yeah. I feel like
you must have yelled it. No, you must have yelled it. There's no way.
Rob must have been making fun of me or something.
Welcome in, Shane. Said, hey, Grant and Shelby, Yellow's doing great. And after one water change, I had several buried females. That is wonderful. See, you did scream it. I'm telling you right now, you definitely screamed it. I'm going to have to go back and watch him. He doesn't realize how ridiculous he really is, honestly. He thinks he's whispering all the time, and he's usually yelling at me.
I also remember maybe a dull moment where I was like, I really can't do anything until I get a bucket, and then
the winner was the bucket.
Maybe I was trying to call for Jesse. So I'm sure everybody used those buckets after us.
Mm-hmm. Someone probably yelled at them for using the bucket. Be like, no, that's Grant's bucket.
Probably.
Oh.
I'm just happy I got my hammers back. I was so worried I was going to lose those hammers. They are the perfect Aquascape hammers.
Right. Lefty said that seems dangerous. I'm picturing battery acid being dumped in the water. That's exactly what I was thinking about.
It's usually uric acid that they use.
Yeah, food grade acid at least. Laura says you'll have to give us an update on your soil testing in the 100 rack.
So it's coming.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to be able to get to doing normal videos again. Shelby was itching to do a video the other night, and I was like, we kind of got people coming over tomorrow. And she's like, what, tomorrow? And I'm like, yeah, they're going to be in tomorrow night. I figure they come over to the house, hang out, we go out to dinner. And it was a great dinner. I mean, we took them out to Hot Pot, which is Korean barbecue. And they had never been. The kids had never been. But it took me and Shelby's second time. And I definitely ate my fair share of beef bouillon.
Oh, welcome in, Sarah, Lady LRB.
We got to see the LRB clan over at the club meeting on Saturday. I kind of was upset. I forgot that Lucas wasn't just there to outbid me on the rice fish, but he also had some nice fish in the auction. And man, I felt like the Josh was just gonna get bored and fall asleep if we had stayed for the entire auction. There's 530 bags that are. It's just a normal auction meeting. I don't remember how many people were there exactly, but over 90 people to come see Josh's talk. An amazing talk on African cichlids. So Rift Lake cichlids to be exact.
Laura said, I bought 10-gallon at yard sales this year for $5 each. That sounds
very nice.
Deal.
Now everybody else needs to do exactly that.
And Gary drilled 3 more tanks today. So nice. Welcome back, Kyle. That was fast.
Dang.
I can't even catch up and chat in your back. Berkeley said that weekend almost killed me. I don't know if it was the sea level, humidity change, my major change in diet, the stress, or a combo, but I was in so much pain. The worst lupus flare-up in 2 years. That just sounds like you had a really terrible weekend. I'm so sorry. Oh, it was probably all of it in together. It's like they hit at once. Usually when you're trying to enjoy yourself, that's when everything just wants to hit you in the face. You're not allowed to have fun. But I hope you're doing better. Jay Albert said, great crowd here today. I would agree. A lot of people in here.
So back to the Aquascaping Contest. I take it was just Shelby and myself. We had the tank all the way on the end. We take that tank because it gives us the most room to work with. So we're not bumping into everybody. We were definitely prepared enough for this contest with tools. We had everything we needed. Like I mentioned, we didn't waste any time. Like the first day for us is like hardscape. The second day, kind of like after you scape, you got to take advantage of that night. Just think about things. And I think one of the best things was like, I was like, I'm going to we got to make a bunch of little tiny mushroom cap umbrellas on the end of the wood to get it to sink in. And I mentioned it to a couple. What did you say when I mentioned it to you?
I said that I just couldn't picture what you were saying. And I said, I hope it's heavy enough. But then when you showed me how to do the first one, I was like, wow, I feel real stupid. But it's it felt like a sand anchor.
Yeah, all I basically did was make like mushrooms or umbrellas and then filled the umbrella up with sand.
I don't know if you've ever seen a mushroom anchor in real life, but that's what it does. It digs down and fills with the sand. So
none of the wood came up that was like not, secured to anything else. It was just basically stuck in the sand with a little mushroom cap, and everything stayed in place. So we came up with that idea Friday night and put it in effect for the first time, used it in the field on Saturday, and it worked. Everything stayed in place. There was minimal shifting. I didn't tweak anything after we filled it up. Did you move any of the arch or anything?
No.
So it was all natural. So everything stayed better than I expected. It's probably like still in the exact same spot because we thank God for Josh Dean and Jesse with the Science Gal. The two of them, if it wasn't for them and Eddie, I probably would not have gotten the tank home in the box and not broke the tank because it was beyond heavy, and we actually had to find rope and use it as straps to lower it into the box so we didn't like pinch our fingers and get crushed and ruin the box or break the tank. So I was lucky enough that they were still there helping out at the Awasi table. I borrowed them for just a couple minutes, but yeah, between unloading all of the rocks for the Aquascape contest and the tanks, and then got home and we waited on Eddie, and then we waited on Eddie, and then we couldn't wait on Eddie any longer. And Shelby stepped up to the plate and helped me move out all 4 of those giant Aquascape tanks. So it was quite the task, but afterwards my back was killing me. My back is still killing me because we had to plant all. We brought the whole kitchen sink, and I didn't leave any of the plants behind in the tank because I was like, it's gonna die in the Texas heat or the Louisiana heat or Alabama or Florida by the time we get home because it was not an AC in the back of our truck. So we put all the plants in bags and got home and had to replant everything. The only thing that was super easy that we did at the contest, which got a lot more attention than my little tank at Orlando, was Shelby's tank at Carradina. She had a boost only tank, well, not boost only, but boost dominant tank that she did for the Jenny West Aquascape Contest. And it was just gorgeous, got a lot of pictures and attention, and even Carradina shared it on their page, and they didn't share my tank. So
I hope they're watching. Hello, Thunder Aquatics. Welcome in. Dee Dee said, which channel will have Scape stream be on Wednesday night? It should be on ours this week. We just did Chances last week. He did a picture of us winning.
Yes. It'll be ours, and I'm hoping we can get Jonathan to be our special guest. We'll talk about maybe setting up for shows, but also I'd like to talk about macro aquascaping. I'm going to play. Well, I'm not going to have to play stupid. I'm just going to ask him all the dumb questions that I should know about setting up a macroalgae tank, but I don't know anything.
And thank you so much, Dee Dee. I did a skip. It was hot, and everyone was not. There was a lot of people not feeling well. A lot of people got sick at the Triple Crown and missed a lot of people at Aquashella. It sucked.
Somehow we were feeling great, though. Shelby is usually a petri dish when everybody gets sick. She also gets sick, but somehow, nope, still going strong.
Yeah, I was worried because everyone that got sick, I was literally like 2 feet away from them. And it was like, I'm already around every single person. And then I find out the news that they are all sick. And I'm like, oh no, I'm like so scared. And then like, I was so scared for like the next 4 days. I'm like, you know how like you could talk yourself into being sick? That was me for the next like 4 days. I'm like, I'm sick. It's so hot. I'm sick. And then I'd be fine. And I'm like, oh no,
like,
I'm not
you just
sick.
need some water. Let me go get you some
stress.
water. So it was like, you're running around everywhere. I'm like, yeah, I got to keep Shelby hydrated or else she's going to think she's sick and pass out. She's just fine. She's just overworked.
I get sick every single time we go somewhere, though. Usually I come back really sick.
I was hoping she did get sick, though, just because I could be like, see, you still got sick. We should fly still. Yeah. And then not spend 2 days driving. But
all right. Nope. Didn't get sick, so it is flying. It's flying. I'm telling you, if I go on an airplane, I'm getting sick. But Berkeley Bell, I can't wait to see you in Chicago. If you ever need anything and need water, let me know. I will be more than happy to go help you and make sure you're taken care of too, because I know how it is. Those shows can get crazy. This time we got to remember to bring a whole case of water and a cooler.
I think you should just stop licking the handrails at the airport.
I mean, it's fine. Just, I like to lick the windows too, but I just can't help myself. I don't know. There's something like extra salty about them or something. I'm going to throw up. Oh no. See, he even said, Ryan, right? Ryan said, I felt like I had a tad bit of heat stroke at the end of the day. Yes, it was so, I cannot believe people live in Texas. Honestly, I couldn't do it. Too dry, too hot, too miserable.
And then, so back to the pizza. We were tearing down the Aquascape Contest, and I had to go get a cart for bringing in the tanks and bringing all the shrimp up to the hotel room and stuff like that.
It's so sorry. So Steven was asking for the bucket. I gotta go watch it now. I want to hear if he screams, "Bucket! Give me the bucket!" Oh man. I'm gonna have to watch that now.
Listen.
I didn't want to watch it because I was so mad because me and Grant are both creators and we do the content together. But for some reason, I just don't matter. I've had to fight for my creator badge.
To me, though.
No, every year I've had to fight for my creator badge. Fault. And then like the creators contest, I'm like, of course they pick Grant because I guess I don't create nothing, No, the YouTube videos don't, they make themselves apparently. So, oh man. It really killed me. I was like, all right, go over there, but I'm not watching you. But now I have to. I have to know the bucket situation so I can join in with the laugh.
You're probably going to see me disappear for a bucket, and then that's when they go over and they come back with all the nice plants. But yeah, Jesse got the bucket.
See, Grant took the initiative to get his own bucket. I was just yelling for a bucket. You should have enough followers that were watching that should have got you a bucket.
Jesse was getting him a bucket.
Okay.
I just couldn't wait. And I was just like, all right, I kind of know the water situation at the shows a little bit better than most people. Jesse is like, it's hard to find, somebody that knows more about these shows than Jesse. I just have a certain little department edge on him in the water area because I do all the Aquascape contests, and I know so many of the vendors, and I'm like, I need this bucket, and he's like, I'm like, I'll bring it back, taking the bucket, and I didn't give him a chance to say no, so I took his bucket, I went and filled it up with water, and Jesse was walking back with the other bucket, and I was like, here, I'll trade you, and yeah, so I kind of stole the contest bucket. I'm letting everybody know now, but I got you guys another bucket.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I think my tequila is pregnant again. I said, Spaz said, are you guys familiar with Brightwell fluorine-based laterite substrate and fluorine-based laterite powder? Thoughts? Oh, yes, very familiar with it.
Do you wanna give them the spiel?
I mean, I like them, but like there's
you're not selling it. So you want to make it as like a lasagna. You want the powder to go on, and then you want the sand, and then they sell granules to go over top of it. And then you can cap it. Yeah, we do. You can cap it off with some of the Brightwell fluorine, not the base, the Escuro or the Cafe. The Cafe kind of matches everything. It is great for plants. Like if you grow a crypt in it, it is going to send long ass roots. Oh man, I made it over an hour. Long roots. And when you go to pull that crypt out, the roots are going to be like dyed pink. Like you were going to see, like they took all the nutrients out of that iron ore that's in the clay and put it to work. However, I do not recommend it for Carradina tanks. It just did not do well for the pH swings during long hours of the day. So I would avoid it for that. I would avoid it if you have tanks where you're trying to move things around all the time and transfer plants or move aquascapes. But if it's like, I'm going to set up this tank just like this with these plants and like leave it for like 2 to 3 years, it is excellent. I love it, but you pull anything out of it, it creates pink dust cloud of death. Not death, but like it looks like everything's dead.
So I actually have where we use it in Escape, and it's called the Maple Leaf Scape Demo, and it was posted 4 years ago. This is terrible.
No, don't even
there we
try.
go. 4 years ago on our page. That was one of my first videos, which is funny because you say all the time, like, a lot of people don't realize that I've done videos on the channel. It's just not as frequent as Grant. But yeah, it's a fun little scape, and it shows you the bags.
But I ripped up those feather eros that are right behind my head here, and it completely clouded up the tank. And I was really worried about the rainbows when we were about to leave. But, you know, when you go into these Aquascape contests and you bring your good plants, you bring the kitchen sink at all costs.
It looked like we
did. Yeah, we definitely had enough plants.
So Lefty said, everyone going to the clash. Excuse me. Can we all please make sure when we go to take our group picture, we say Fluvel instead of cheese?
All right, so now,
just because of Greg.
Now I don't know. Maybe I was on lack of sleep, but I did hear another commercial or somebody else professional. So I don't know if it's Fluval, or Fluval. I've heard all three versions from professional sources.
Their
so
accents,
I don't know why I didn't
because they
ask
all have
Josh.
different accents.
Yeah, maybe overseas.
We were standing there talking to the Fluval people for quite some time.
Yeah, I don't think they were quite happy with how long we took to tear down all the tanks, but like they were like, oh, it's just you guys doing it, not everybody else. And we're like, yep, that's the price you pay when you want all the tanks.
Luke said, nice, I'll see you there. Got a package heading your way tomorrow, Sue.
Awesome, man.
What'd you buy?
It's a surprise.
No. Probably nothing for me.
Probably not.
Dee Dee said Korean barbecue is good. It is delicious.
And ours is like not even 8 months old, and it's quite updated and new agey. And we've had some friends come through, and we brought them there, and there's like, yours is better than any of the other ones we had by far. And then we took Josh to 2 different places. One is like our best Mexican restaurant. I love it. The kids love it. Shelby loves it. So they liked it. It was good. But then I was like, well, which one do you like better, that one or the Korean barbecue? And they're like, oh, definitely the Korean barbecue. Like, that is an experience on its own. They brought us, like, they saw us like trying to take like one of all the desserts. And then they brought us like 5 of every one of the desserts. And then I'm like, y'all need to help me eat this. And they're like, nope, all you. And I'm like, oh, man. Diabetes. It's coming for me.
Hello, TFI Aquatics.
What's up, man?
And what?
I was just gonna, we did get to take them, though, to our local ice cream parlor. And it is on point. But they're like, oh, we got one that's better. So now we're going to have to go to Michigan just for ice cream.
Oh, no. Sarah said they did go pretty cheap, all the fish they had, which I wish I would have scooped up those blue gularis. I could always take a 3rd pair just in case I fail with 2. I could have always took a 3rd one. It said everything did towards the end. Yeah, I heard it was a complete shit show at the end.
Language.
Yeah. No, you said it was past an hour. So.
Doesn't mean we just go off. All right.
Oh, man.
I
Says
think
the person who's cursed more. I think we could keep a tally on that one.
I think we need to figure out when the next board meeting is, and I'd like to tune in because I'm making things a little bit shorter with the silent auction. Mm-hmm. I don't think they need to announce the silent auction and everything like that. It should be, hey,
it's over.
These numbers come to the table, come pay. And, you know, if you're if you sold the item, you get the actual auction sheet back as your receipt, and then the club splits the other 2 receipts between the buyer and themselves. So I think that could run a lot smoother. And then I think it should be like an open option. If somebody wants to put the plants on silent auction, they could do that too, like all the aquatic plants, not just terrestrial, because I think my aquatic plants would have done a little bit better that way.
And it's always good to see you too. Your son was precious. He kept running up and giving her a hug like every 2 minutes. Kept me entertained. So cute.
Couldn't find him at first. And then like he found me and he's like, I recognize you.
No.
I think I could trust you. And I was like, this way, boy. Your mom's right there.
Yeah, he was looking everywhere for you, like a lost little puppy. So cute.
I was like, you've been to my house. I can trust you.
He said it was sushi. My weakness went quick. That's why he was back so fast. Mm.
Yeah, and sushi's, you can down it quickly.
Not me. I could not. I would throw it right back up. Hello, Skull Aquatics.
3-year-old
I'm
Grant
right
used
next
eat
to
a
the
ton
mic. I
of
just
them.
yelled.
It's all right. Better you than me.
And said Jesse and Josh are perfect helpers at shows. Yeah, they were talking about how like they usually help you guys if you needed it. So that was funny that
Like,
you
they're
said
not
that.
gonna be here. I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
Like,
they definitely missed you
come over
guys.
here. We need your help.
I'm like, now we'll use you. Steven says still COVID negative over here for your information. Nice. Good. That's us too. So let's knock on wood on that one though. Welcome in, Snoop.
How's it going? And it was cool meeting you, Skull Aquatics. It was really nice seeing you at the Aquashella, man. Hanging out. I wish we got more time to hang out, but
And looks like Sarah will have a new video out tomorrow. You got to check them out. She's got this cool thing. I love the intro's got a sunrise and the outro's got a sunset. Love it.
I definitely have a nice little plant room going on.
Mm-hmm. Makes me want to put more plants in my house. Once I get the new rack set up, there's going to be definitely some more. I'm going to have to get some of her plants.
You know, I think your issue with the dolphin plant is then it gets too much light because
I said that like 6 times.
even when it's dark out, the neighbors' spotlights is so bright. It's like getting full on moonlight basically all night.
Welcome in, Xandadoodoo. And Aquabells, welcome in. And Sage, we got a lot of people coming in at 10. Welcome in.
What's up,
Was there
Scrappy?
a first aid station at Aquashella? I actually don't know. Probably somewhere.
So I don't think there was an actual first aid station, but I know there's a first aid kit. I also heard
one kit.
John say that we're probably getting big enough that we will have an EMT at the show. So
makes sense.
Don't quote me on that. Then.
Welcome in, Scruffy City Aquatics and Killer Kitty.
And
the podcast was hilarious. Gonna have to watch this though.
See, I was probably gone. Dang.
Welcome in, Danikin.
Or I was underneath the table smashing rocks.
Yeah.
I made a mess.
Like
behind that table was just mud, water everywhere.
Oh, itchy.
And then somehow we were able to bring home the thread fins and the ember tetras that we had in the Aquascape Contest. So those are in the tank in the kitchen.
Kyle said, I tried to give you credit when I can. I need an editor. Grant needs an editor for his voice when he talks.
Oh.
I had to say it.
Just think before I talk.
Steven said, I'm sorry, but as a video editor, I say the video editor is the real hero. Thank you. Said you didn't get creator, but you're on Carib C. Yes, I'm still gloating about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I love Carib C. Like everything.
I just have to see about that one for the next show.
Mm-hmm. We'll see whose tank is better. Maybe we'll put up a little picture and voting, and can't put who did who.
We might have to have a Carib C scape off. We both scape a tank.
Yeah, so we should do
rock,
like
paper,
a
scissors to
saltwater.
See who picks the aquascape. No, not
That'd
saltwater. Cool. It's Dragonstone or Mountain Stone, and then
All right.
Or maybe we draw straws, and one of the straws is river rock.
Stop. No one can win with that. Actually, I did pretty good with, for, some of my aquascapes having to do river rock, I did pretty good with it. Welcome in, Zen Ginger. Thank you so much, Vibes. Grant busting up rock in that live stream. I could hear him because where I was scaping and he was doing his little thing, I could just hear someone smash. It sounded like someone was just stomping on a stage, and I'm like, that has to be Grant. Like that has to 100%. And there was like a huge crowd around him, but I look up and Grant's just like smashing away, and I'm like, of course it's Grant. He's making so much noise over there. It was pretty funny.
I felt like I was hitting enough people with rocks at this show that the first thing we did when we were leaving, I was like, Shelby, Amazon, figure out how much a rock crusher costs. So we'll probably have a rock crusher for Chicago because I don't need to be sued for somebody's eye getting taken out by a rock.
Like he did not care.
How is it not my eye either? Like one thing about landscaping for 13 years is like you blink really quickly if something's coming your way, I guess.
Let's just say Grant did not care about a single person around, to the point where I'm literally bending down to grab chips of the rocks, and he's swinging the hammer this close to my face, just smashing the rock. And I had to look at him like, Grant. And then he smashed them later when like people are like, we're really like right behind the curtain of where they're doing the main talks. And I mean, there's people funneling out a line to get into some of these talks of these people, and Grant's just smashing these rocks, and these people are getting hit with shards in their legs, and they're turning around just looking at him like he's crazy, and he just didn't care. He's like,
all right,
you're in the way.
So what we need is everybody gets their own pair of goggles.
Oh my gosh.
And then they set up a little area with plexiglass and a little workshop, and then you can smash them and everybody can still see, and you should still be able to hear it because you leave the top open. And then, everybody's eyes are safe. So
maybe
I'm going to have to, suggest that one. It might be a little expensive.
No, it wouldn't be that expensive. You'd be surprised. Oh, it doesn't even need to be that strong. You can get that cheap plexiglass, which I have
crack, though.
From our work.
I feel like the rocks go far enough. And I broke one of the rocks and it hit our glass tank. And I looked up at Chance and I was like, did that hit the glass? And he's like, yeah, man, you almost pulled a Brian. I'm like, oh. And then I started like,
it was bad.
Instead of like protecting the crowd, I had to protect the tank. So I was like,
yeah. Who cares about me though? Almost hit me in the face.
Listen.
Thanks, Vibes. Knows where the true art was. Oh.
I didn't say it was going to be the nicest tank in there, but then I saw the Aquashella tanks, and I was like,
yeah, those were so nice. Those were so nice.
Just the ones.
Killer Kitty said, I felt pebbles flying through the screen. It was like that 4D flying through. If you hit this over, I'm going to hit you in the face with the stop.
Why? I'm not doing anything.
You're driving me crazy. You're putting your hand behind it. It's hitting me. You're gonna lose an arm. You won't be able to smash any more rocks. Kyle said he said the F word at the end of the stream and they flagged it. It was the last 30 seconds too. Gotta love it. All flagged now. I see. Actually, we had one that was flagged because they were cursing up a storm in one of the first live streams we did on the Aquascape. And it flagged it like immediately, and I put it under review, and for some reason they approved it again. So
they got like 45 minutes into watching these nerds talk about plants, and they're like,
I'm done.
How is this flagged?
Oh, thank you, Zen Ginger.
So the last thing about Aquashella that I didn't talk about is I did get to scape a little tiny tank, all-in-one tank for PNW. So
Steven said, I'll bet my right arm it's not Blue Veil. Oh, well, it'll make the contest easier if you don't have a right arm. So
I will bet 2 breaths of air.
Uh,
I could sacrifice that.
we're always gonna have a fluval, fluval, fluvial, fluvul.
I'm gonna ask Josh. We'll get down to it.
No one ever heard fluval. Oh. So the Triple Crown people called me when the silent auction ended, and I just went to the person and paid. See, that might be a thing. Like we call, like they get a text message in the auctions, and like come pay.
It's like gonna be like 200 things though
right.
in a short amount of time. I can see it being all right like that for the Triple Crown, but there's a lot of things going on at our club, and if we're getting kicked out at 5 o'clock and we're bringing 500 bags to the auction, and there's a speaker, it's quite a lot to deal with. We got to figure something out.
Hello, welcome in, Corey Miller. Says I like plants. We do too. Welcome in, Michelle Morgan. Said hi, everyone. Shelby, I usually get dessert first.
She's lost.
I am.
I think it might have been talking about us at the Korean barbecue and getting all the dessert, but
Oh,
I don't know. But thank you so much for helping us at the contest. You guys and
Shrimp
Kyle
are killing it this
your
time
husband
too.
Was, yeah, and I'm happy I convinced you into entering in the other shrimp. So
yeah, I like the what were the ones in the category 6? Were they the orange-eyed? Yeah, those were cool. I loved them. No one sends those in, so it was so nice to see something different for once. Oh, I think I skipped this earlier. Do you guys like more pieces of driftwood or one bigger piece of driftwood for the centerpiece in an aquascape?
So it's really hard to get one big piece that's going to be able to give you depth and make the tank look bigger. So I prefer a bunch of little smaller pieces. So
yeah, you can create more with it.
When we were in the contest at first and they laid out everything on the table, and Sean was like, "Is this going to be enough?" You know, and by far there was more than enough rock. Like almost all the rock was pretty uniform. There wasn't anything that was like super detailed and structured and worth throwing an elbow for to try and get. It was all basically the same. The wood, however, there was like 4 different kinds of wood, and I kind of was like, yeah, there is enough wood, but if one of the other teams decides to use the exact same wood as I am, they're going to be upset because I'm taking most of the wood. So with that being said, he went and grabbed a bunch of bigger pieces of wood, and that really didn't solve the issue. That just made it a little bit like more difficult, because then the one piece of wood was a different type, and it was the dragon wood, and it's super gnarly. It's cool. It would definitely give a person an edge if they didn't have a lot of skill in aquascaping. So hopefully for the next contest, there will be a lot more smaller pieces of wood. And I just kept hearing the whole Kevin Kelly talking about making aquascapes out of, the what you had. And what we had was a bunch of like real thick, flat pieces of curved wood. And I needed a bunch of small pieces of curved wood. So I took the hammer and the chisel. So sorry. And I broke up the pieces of wood and made 7 or 8 pieces out of one flat piece. So definitely prefer smaller pieces.
Kyle said Michelle has a cameo in the Aquashella vid. That's awesome. She put in so much work, and so did her husband, and her daughter and her granddaughter were there too. So they put in so much work into the contest. It was so nice to have someone to help out.
My granddaughter was very well behaved for a baby, unlike somebody else's baby. Say any names. You could hear her everywhere. The show was by far like the best Aquashella though yet. I mean, there was a lot of people, a lot of cool new faces. Got to meet several new people, hang out with old friends. Sam Scales was there. You know, it's always a good show when he's there to hang out, help out. He helped, and oh man, so many people. And sadly, Lefty, Ed, and James were not able to make it because of COVID. There's a couple other people there too, but nothing going on in chat. You're just reading away.
Mm-hmm. Lefty said, no, legally they can't have a first aid station, if I remember correctly, when I complained last year not having one. I wonder. And then Benjamin, welcome in. If I didn't say hi to you, I think you were here earlier. Anyone know how many people were at Aquashella?
I
didn't get a number this year. I don't
no, not exactly.
So many.
I asked for a number and he didn't have a total yet. So.
Oh, Kyle said Aquashella official Facebook said 7,500 people. That's crazy.
And it was a lot of people there. It was quite a nice show.
And Lefty said it was a liability issue, I guess, in case the medical care wasn't correct. I don't know. It was a year ago. I can't remember exactly. I can see that. But there's also a lot of glass around, so we definitely need first aid because there has been some close calls. I'm pretty sure someone broke a tank last year, but luckily it was still in a crate, so they got to pick up most of it.
We got, oh, can you see it?
Well, now we're going to have to have a picture of your 75 that has River Rock in it. Can't talk about it and then not show us.
The big tanks do look real nice with the River Rock, with like some Anubias and stuff growing over the tops of them, but it's really hard to make smaller tanks look nice with the River Rock.
Gas-powered rock crusher would be crazy. This one is like I think it's
just by hand, and it just crazy. Keeps everything controlled in like a box. So
you ought to set up a rock smashing section. Use rolling welding screens. Not a bad idea. So it's exciting. Tomorrow morning, very exciting day. I shipped fish and waiting to get some fish. Always excited to get fish. Have a good time. See you later, Kyle.
Later, man. Thanks again for helping out. I'm excited for Kyle to start doing more streams and videos now that he's in the new house.
Oh, yeah. Berkeley said, you'll never find the perfect piece of driftwood. You have to build it. Yep. That's what we had to do.
And the other thing, like, we haven't even got into doing yet, and, like, we
said he'll plan again. Sorry.
We were thinking about doing it with the last one, but I want to, like, mess with it beforehand before we get to it. So if we know what kind of materials we're going to be working with, we can take that thermoplastic and we can dye them different colors, so that way we don't even have to worry about hiding it in the aquascape. I do like that it is white, though, easy for us to see, and we can just cover it with some super glue and moss.
Lefty said, I bought my first aid kit to Chicago. I never go anywhere without one. Smart.
I was, like, one of the things on the kids' list is Band-Aids. I was going to buy Band-Aids for Layla's class because
she falls down every day. And Jamie said, in Canada, we must have first aid. We also have a Good Samaritan law, as you can't get sued if you did your best to give someone medical aid.
I have to confess about something. I ate those Canadian chips.
Yep, I saw them in the trash can.
They were really so good. The well-dressed.
Only thing, all-dressed chips.
All-dressed.
The only thing I wanted, by the way, Jamie, and he ate them without me.
I was starving one day, and I was like, I just got to do something to eat. And then I was like, oh, my goodness. He says he loves me. They were so good. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get a bag of those again, because they were at the Triple Crown. The Biggs and his team brought them. And, oh, man, they were so good. If I'd known they were that good, I would have taken some at the Triple Crown. They were a weird flavor, but they were good.
Look at that. Vibes is so proud of us for making to the bottom of chat. Congratulations. Crib Keeper said, I can send you some all-dressed chips. Yep, and then Grant will hide them, eat them all, and he loved them, though.
The taffy, though. How do you Canadians eat the taffy? Like, that was ridiculous. Hold on, you stay here.
It's in your drawer. I just put it in there.
Oh, you just put it in my drawer?
Mm-hmm. Crib Keeper says they have them in stores around here. That's pretty cool. MTS, I worked in the music industry. I wouldn't have an event without a first aid station. I feel like they had like a first aid kit, but no station. I just don't think they were big to the point where they had to have one. So why waste the money on it? But like, yeah, you definitely need it. There's a lot of water at these shows. I'm surprised someone hasn't slipped and hurt themselves really bad. Lifting things, someone could hurt themselves lifting something. So Scruffy said, making it to the bottom is always a feat. Yes, for sure. You just don't want to make, like, I had to skip over a couple of things that I could talk about for 20 minutes. So yes, it is really cool to get to the bottom. Jamie said, I can send you some roast chicken fries with gravy flavors. That sounds good.
No, it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't.
The taffy you need to warm a little.
All right, because that's what I was gonna ask. Because
for like coffee or something.
How do I warm it? Because we don't have a microwave in this house. That thing, I'm not gonna lie, I probably wasted the first one because I tried, but I was like, my teeth are good, but holy, that would take a meth head out right there. They would be done.
The Mac. I didn't mean to say that.
Is there instructions like heat it up?
No, I was just trying to look for that.
All right, I guess I might put it on like some tin foil and put it in the oven for a second, but carry it in your ass pocket. I don't think that's gonna be warm enough, man. Like,
it might be.
I don't think so.
Oh, sit on it, Zenjin.
I saw that, so I'm gonna do it. I mean,
Spaz said, forgot to tell you, was able to replace my cobalt aquarium lids with homemade square piece of acrylic and some 3mm drawer handles. Nice.
It doesn't say millimeter. That says 3 meter.
That would be pretty big.
I know. So. You probably said it right.
So Johnny said, break rocks. We're going to do that. See if you can break one of the rocks. My dad has a giant stone in his backyard, and it's like 200 pounds. He tried moving, and he said he got it 3 feet. And I told him, I'm coming over with a hammer. I'm like, I'm going to make it aquascaping rocks. He said, if you can chop it down, you can have it. So, and it's huge.
We forgot to bring the bag to Aquashella. We could have made Ed walk around with it.
A bag of what?
The shrimp.
Oh. No. Oh, yeah, we did come back home.
Yeah.
I forgot it again.
Jeez.
Oh, man. New Local Austin says, stationing the EMT is something local city can provide. There's probably a number of people that warrants that. So they're probably at it now, for sure. Nano said, it's summer in Florida. Just leave it outside or in the car. Then it would be oh, man, don't you dare leave it in the car.
Because it's gotten
It got a little squish.
It's not, no. I'm going to save it for tomorrow and leave it in the car.
Have a good night, Scruffy City. Don't leave it in the car because it'll make a mess and you won't clean it up. Zen said, melts under your butt, not in your hands, or something like that. 3M sticker stuff. That makes more sense. Okay. 3M. Jamie said, Grant, you're supposed to break it up and then suck on it like a Werther's.
I tried to break it and it didn't want to break.
That's too good. We're actually up in chat.
And then I like kind of treated it like a lollipop, and I was just like, it's all right, but it's not my thing.
What is it made out of?
Taffy.
Oh. Yeah, I don't do that. Welcome in, PA Fresh Preacher.
So, what was your favorite part about Aquashella?
Doing the aquascaping, duh. That was the only thing I did.
Oh, and for those that were wondering, are we going to have a video of the Aquascape Contest? No, we didn't get any footage of anything from Aquashella at
TikToks.
all. We did, however, get to go back to see Shrimp Pimpin' himself, Ruben, and got another tour. He added yet another rack to his house. If you follow the TikTok, it is the big discus tank. And yeah, what?
He's got a TikTok.
No, my TikTok.
Oh.
The discus tank that we posted up. That is of his house.
Oh, I'll have one of his shrimp.
He's got a tortoise, and so anything Aquashella is probably going to be wrapped up into that video as well.
We don't have anything from Aquashella.
But Fluval went around and had their own film crew filming the Aquascape Contest, and then Aquashella also had their own film crew, and they took us aside and interviewed us, and I was doing the shrimp contest, and they needed somebody to come interview, and I was like, well, I'm doing this, and they're like, we need somebody now, and I'm like, well, take Shelby. So Shelby went and did it, and I hear she's like, she was pretty cocky she was going to win. So that'll be quite interesting to see afterwards, but
we'll see how it gets pieced together. It was crazy.
Yeah, and I know Jason from Primetime Aquatics, him and Joanne did a tank in the contest. Joanne from Smallscape. They'll be doing a video on it, and I know what they're going to do would be a lot better than what I could have filmed. So, yeah, I just left it to the professionals on that one, and I think we just, stayed busy with the Aquascape Contest, and I think we're ready. There's a contest at the Keystone Clash, and I think there's actually going to be some competition in it now. And then AGA will just be selling goods, but we'll be bringing it to Chicago. I don't think we're going to do a booth or anything like that. So we can just focus on running the Aquascape. Still got to decide if we're going to do one tank as a team or split up and do two tanks and try and work around the rules somehow.
Let's see. Jamie said, I forgot to send you ketchup chips. I guess you only get them in Canada too. Don't send those. Those will go to waste.
I don't want those. No. I don't think Shelby wants them, and neither one of the kids want them. So and by the way, the All Dressed had a very, very slight ketchup-y taste to them. So.
And you ate them? I'm surprised. And you
ate
all of them without me.
I said that. There's something weird. I was hungry.
Rude. And hello, Night Owl.
And someone decided to do inventory and not have lunch with me that day. So.
Vibe said, Grant, I don't use RO water, but since you mentioned it, maybe I need to hook it up.
Well, then for shrimp for the tank, if you're looking for something like that, you can't do bee shrimp, so you could get some tigers, some orange-eye blue tigers. I'd recommend tangerine if it's your first time doing Carradina. You can wait by the time it's cycled. I might have some super tigers. I got to get some red tigers to Daniel Johnson. He's been asking for those for a while. I can probably let some of those go. Might have some time by the time you're ready as well. But if you don't want to do Carradina, you can go with your favorite kind of Neo Carradina. It doesn't matter. They're all going to be the same. Just make sure you got enough KH in your water, your tap water, to neutralize the buffering capability of the UNS soil. If it doesn't, you can always add some baking soda.
Cryptkeeper said, Jamie, you might have all those cool flavors of chips, but we have 10 flavors of Captain Crunch. Those are so gross too. I used to that was like one of my first games on the PC. There's a cool Captain Crunch game. You can still download it and play it. It's the only thing I did. I never ate the cereal though. It's so gross to me. Spaz asked if we had Bloody Mary Neos.
So I have made my own from Black Rose, but I have not moved them into a bigger tote to like mass produce them. I like to move some inside, but Shelby took all the tanks up for fish, so I need to move all of her fish out of here somehow. They're for sale. Let me know. Going to the highest bidders.
Yeah, your boas are for sale.
No.
Looks like a tank that never
They're
does
for sale,
anything.
$500 a piece.
Nope. $5. $5 a piece. All your Carradina shrimp.
Nope. You're out of here.
Well, I'm gonna let you finish up the last 15 minutes by yourself.
You're heading out?
I'm gonna go feed some fish.
Oh, all right. Yeah, she's got so many fish that she needs the 15-minute head start before we go to bed.
Yeah. Oh. Hello, Lady Diane. Said, uh-oh. $5 sold.
Oh man. All the coals are $5 now. That's what she meant, but oh, Nano said sold, and it was $5 each, by the way, not all of them for $5. You're way at. See, Shelby, you're underselling yourself and you're underselling my shrimp. If I die, what's gonna happen? I'm lucky enough that Jaden has now taken a little hustle and mentality and is starting to see how much it can work. And he's like, "Yeah, I think we'll run the zoo, and then next door we'll have the aquarium, and we'll just sell that to run the zoo." And I'm like, "See, buddy, now you're starting to think. You run the aquarium and you sell the fish and shrimp, and it pays for the other things you want." And just hopefully he doesn't want too many snakes. And Crypt Keeper says, "Shelby, can I please place a shrimp order with you next time? I like your price on that boa." How's it going, Lady Diane? Very nice to hang out with you in the Triple Crown in Kentucky. And then Lady LRB said, "Good night, Shelby. I'm heading out too. Thanks for making me washing. Thanks for making washing dishes go quickly." I was like, making me wash dishes.
Oh, man, I freaked the fish out.
What'd you do?
I freaked him out. I was waving.
Oh. And then appreciate it vibes. Helping us out. Don't forget to smash that like button. Are you running a zoo? What's admission? We make a joke that we should charge admission, but like, I don't know. Shelby does such a good job at cleaning the house and making sure that it's primed and up to point. If anybody's ever been here, like Shelby cannot have your first time coming to the house and like the floor not swept or the counters not picked up or something like that. Me, I'm always in the middle of a project. If you can't accept that, then don't come to my house. But Shelby's got to have everything perfect. So it's like $15, $20 minimum to come see the house. And then that pays for Shelby's lunch. And then she's happy. But no, there's no admission fee. But most of the time people are leaving home with some type of shrimp. And then night, Johnny B, we will be right behind you. Shelby's just got a couple of tanks to feed. We brought home a ton of fish from the Triple Crown. There's Shelby. Oops, other side. We got a bunch of killies, like 3 bags of Goodyids. I got like 3 bags of rainbows. Well, 2 bags of rainbows and 2 bags of Pseudomcgills. Some teddy bears. Some tiger teddies, not teddy bears. Some golden lease killies. Peacock dudgeon. I know I'm forgetting more, but we only came home from Aquashella with the Ember Tetras and did you ever find the begonia from Richard? Man, that's a bummer. Richard, one of our friends from the aquascaping realm, gave Shelby a begonia, and I have no idea where it went. It kind of got scattered when we had the tank leak in the the booth behind us. Real cool people though. I went over there and I was like, "Hey, yeah, you ruined Shelby's purse, but instead of paying for a new purse, do you think you can vote for our tank over there?" So it was a shameless vote. And then they came back over and then they wanted to pay for the stickers that got ruined. And they're like, "Oh, no, they were free stickers. Like, the only thing you could help me out with is if you could find us an axolotl plushie for my daughter." And they're like, "Oh, do you want a real one?" And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. And then I gave it to Eddie because his daughter really likes the axolotls. And I guess she's woken up now twice, and the first thing she's done is ran right to the axolotl tank to see it feed. So definitely went to a good home. And then I asked Shelby before they even offered it. I was like, "I got a feeling they're gonna try and give you a free axolotl," and she's like, I don't want another axolotl to take care of. So if that's ever a case, you should definitely avoid getting a creature. So we went to Eddie's. What would pandas cross best with? Tangerine tigers, red crystal shrimp, black crystal shrimp, or blue bolts. So, by the way, it's CRS if you're going to do crystal red shrimp, because RCS is red cherry shrimp. And the only reason why I got that right was because the next one was BCS. So I was like, it's got to be. So the best cross is kind of like, what do you mean by best? What are you trying to do? The tangerine tigers are definitely the easiest ones to crossbreed out of the list. With tangerine tigers, right off the rip, you can make some blue steels, red steels, and then further on down the generations, especially if you cross back with the pandas, you can get Nanashi, Galaxy Pintos, and eventually work your way to boas. The pandas with the crystals, they'll both just make some Michelins, so you can get a mix of both, and then cross with the blue bolts, you'll get more pandas, more blue bolts. So you can actually take out tangerine tigers out of the equation, and you can cross all of those together and still have them true. Suggestions for cheap but good full spectrum light for a 20-gallon tank. Beamworks or Aquaneats, they're both relatively cheap. They both have a full spectrum LED option. The newer ones are quite thin and don't put off too much heat. So those are both two brands that I recommend. You can go on eBay or Amazon and just look up which one's the cheaper one and go with that one. I'm not sure what you're looking for to grow, but if it's just moss, boost, Anubis, stuff like that, full spectrum's all you're going to need. Are you bored now? No, I'm not bored. I have quite the motivation because of the leak in Jaden's room. We got to build this next 90-gallon tank stand, not 90-gallon, 10-gallon tank stand. So it'll hold 900 gallons. It's going right square in the middle of our living room, butted up, teed off to the 100-gallon rack system, that 110-gallon rack system that we just built. So I kind of got to get everything out of Jaden's room and then treat all the wood, put it back, fix the wall damage, and fix the leak, and hope that never happens again. But we will be able to reset up Jaden's room. I know Shelby's been wanting to do like a just tiger room, and I think we're going to do that in Jaden's room because he has the wall AC unit. We can keep that room a little bit more on the cool side, and we got the 55s and the 40s that we can keep for auroras, tangerine tigers, orange eye blue tigers, and then all the little tanks that we can breed for all the other crossbreeding projects and stuff like that we want to do with the cheetahs, tangerine tigers, super tigers, and make them all orange eyes. So plenty of room. Plus, like, we use 10 tanks alone just for the green tiger project. So I'm not bored. There's plenty of stuff to keep us busy. I'm also running through the house and doing the water change as fast as possible. But also the fish epidemic that we have running through our house. It's not just Shelby. I also want to get involved and do quite a few different things. Like outside, I've got rice fish that came from the plants I got from Victor, and then the lighter tail mollies, the endlers, and then there's even some fry in the middle tank, which I assume they're just more red bricks. So I'm looking to set up everything outside so next year we can really smash the fish out of the park. And then have a good night, vibes. Thank you so much for sharing the links and asking everybody to help out. And how long do you keep your lights on for? Generally 8 hours. We have some like issues with algae or something like that. I'll reduce them to 6 hours. But there's like some racks where I don't have any timers on the racks, and we just keep them on when we wake up. We turn them on when we go to bed. So some of them are on for way longer than they should be. But we do 50% water changes every other week, and it kind of keeps the algae non-existent. And see, Shelby, you leave and we lose 15 people. So they're not here for me. 10 or 20 gallon long. Always bigger the better. Any bigger, larger tank, it's going to be easier to keep water consistent. The parameters being stable is going to be your number one benefit for having, large success with baby survival. But it's doable in a 10-gallon tank. So if you have to do it in 10, that's fine. But if you can go big and you're in Texas, go big, baby. All right. Wow, y'all are Energizer bunnies who wear me out just listening to all that. That's what Shelby says too. When trying to breed a colony of pure black line that are mixed grade SS to triple S, trying to aim for triple S, how many generations could it take to get them all to breed triple S? Or is there always a percentage that are going to they're always going to throw lower grades? Even like if you have all the way bred out the pure black line, you could breed that there's no black to them at all, and there would be white, and you can claim them to be as pure white line. But I assume that there's always going to be like 1 in 1,000 that are going to come out and show that black gene in there. So, and then Chris said, always go larger. Yep. Same with Skull. And then how well do your isopods on your website do with the shrimp and guppies? So with the shrimp, they're perfect little companions. Like I was talking about when we did the whole space thing, and we need to go back to that. I forgot about having the space shrimp and doing a space video. But the isopods do not prey off of the baby shrimp, and neither do the shrimp off the isopods, so they can coexist just like the seed shrimp do in the tanks. And, as long as you just feed them a little bit extra for the isopods, they're so tiny that they don't really eat that much. They might even get into like nooks and crannies that the shrimp don't eat and eat those biofilms. So the guppies, on the other hand, those are going to be a big issue because we had baby Achilles fish eating the isopods. So whatever can fit in a fish's mouth will be food, and the isopods are no exception. My Neos are in a 10-gallon, and it's already too small. Yeah, especially for Neos. They can definitely reproduce in a warmer tank and get out of control. I don't really have that issue too much with Carradina. It seems like I can't breed those fast enough to sell. But that's why we keep the Neos outside in the bigger totes. Should be adding isopods to shrimp tanks. Why or why not? It's really a preference. There's those people out there that are like, I hate snails. They're disgusting. I don't want them in my tank. Those are also probably the same ones that don't want the isopods or the roly-polies. They kind of look like little cockroaches, but and they don't really have enough color to them or anything like that. So it's just, if you want them, you can have them. If not, there's no real like downside to having them other than you have to feed a little extra food, and it's not a lot at all.
It's good for people people that overfeed.
They are good for people that overfeed. Shelby coming in clutch. She's only got 500 more tanks to feed. Thank you, team. Good looking out. And especially live bears. Guppies will eat everything. And that brings us back to the mosquito fish. They are nasty little buggers. They will devour up like a juvenile can eat like 1 million mosquito larvae in a week. 1 isopods, please. So on the website, there has been a little controversy. They are $4 per isopod. I know that seems kind of like a lot of money for a little tiny critter, but they're not easy to keep. They don't reproduce all that fast. So I've only sold like 50 of them, if that. It's not like we're like swarming in isopods over here, but they're nothing special, so I'm not going to charge an absurd amount of money for them. Also, back to the contest. The last thing I didn't touch up on was Shelby's pizza incident. So we were tearing down the shrimp contest. Somebody walked out of the Aquashella meeting with food, and I was like, "Is it warm? Is it still hot?" And they're like, "Yep, just got here." So I went, grabbed a plate, grabbed 2 slices of pizza for myself. I started eating mine right away, grabbed Shelby's pizza, and put it down next to her at the shrimp contest. And before she could even put down what she was doing and eat it, one of the cleaning ladies walked by and grabbed it and threw it away. So it was definitely devastating time for, Yeah, she didn't eat. We didn't get any food all day. New local Austin had a little bit too much to drink the night before, and Scuba Steve was nowhere in sight. So we toughed it out till pizza, and then Shelby's pizza got taken away. So it was not a good experience. But we went somewhere afterwards and got food. Oh yeah, Whataburger. That wasn't that good either. So they don't get very big. They're about 1 centimeter in size. So they would be an easy feeder for some shrimp. But if you're an overfeeder, they might be a little bit up your list, especially if you don't like the snails. That's why I'm a big fan of the Malaysian trumpet snails. You overfeed a little bit, the snails are going to come up and clean that up out of the substrate. So no, I will let the roly-polies crawl on me. I'm burning roaches with fire. Yeah, I mean, you say that, but the other person is like, oh my God, how are you having these in your tanks? There's people that freak out about the detritus worms, and I'm just like, those are just like little long necks peeking their heads out of the canopy, you know? That's all they are. It was probably the lady yelling at you in Spanish when I was sick from your headache. The staff was not very friendly at the expo. And Luis Clemente was like, hey man, why didn't you ship them back in the box? And it's like, it's because I only have so many hands and so many things going on, and the cleaning ladies are such a big hurry to get the expo shut down for the next one to be ready. Because like right after that venue hall is used for Aquashella, there's probably like an RV or some type of other business expo that goes in there the following week. So all those booths and everything like that got to get set up. So they go around and they're trained to like kick boxes. And if there's nothing in the box, they just pick it up and throw it away. So especially on like the last day, they assume everything is, being thrown out. It was all used for props or something like that. And now they don't need it anymore. So I always take food with me everywhere for those very reasons. Yeah, no, Shelby's not a snacker. She doesn't like uncooked meals. Like me, I'm fine with some pistachios. I probably down $5 of those every day. But Shelby, she relies on 3 nicely cooked meals. So dude, those cleaning ladies were nuts. They were yelling at me, telling me to take out the trash. Yeah. And Ryan wasn't even working there. He's like, I'm just outside. And they're like, nah, go take out that trash. We don't care. And I get it. You probably had somebody coming in, the next day and running their expo, but that's not our responsibility. So you finished 5 minutes late. So it took you 20 minutes to feed all the fish.
Isn't that bad?
You,
Not bad.
you got my pistos?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We got so many fish that I forgot. I got a pistos too at the Triple Crown. And then we're at the auction on Saturday. And there's some really nice pistos. And I'm just looking at Shelby and I'm like, I got a pistos at the Triple Crown. Where did we even put them? And she's like, I don't know. So we found them when we got home, but
I found them.
well, yeah, Shelby found them.
I've been feeding them anyways. I was like,
they're in
I'm
the
pretty
thread
sure
fin
there was
tank.
one of these tanks he put them in, and
Look,
yeah, I
you're-
have 3 thread fin tanks now.
You're back and 5 people came back.
Yeah, yeah, okay. They just got an alert. Shelby came back. Yeah, okay. People just get bored.
So that's gonna be it for tonight, though.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you mods. Thank you rewatch crew. If you're watching this far and you weren't watching live, greatly appreciate it. But you can catch us Wednesday. Not sure exactly what the topic's going to be, but it will be Halfscape episode 13.
Don't quote us on that.
I don't know. It's been so many. It's been hard to keep track. The last 4 weeks have all been blurred together.
It's like episode 100. We
Well,
all
that'll
give
be-
$100 gift card.
We'll have 99 and Chance will have 100.
Oh,
Yeah,
still,
odd and even.
that's okay. Either way.
So, all right, guys, have a good night. And till
Thanks
next
for
time.
watching.